The importance of understanding your employees' and learners' needs. Created by Amanda Hernandez. Psychology of Learning. Instructed by Janet Hose. The date is 7/18/2006. Let's begin by reviewing the learning theories: behaviorism, cognitivism, constructivism, and humanism. The psychology of learning is a great foundation to use as a model for a productive learning environment. For example, when you're a manager of business, knowing the best way to approach your employees' needs would be a perfect strategy. The purpose of this presentation is to present and explain 5 topics in learning that I think would be important to teach others, and explain how these suggestions could possibly improve employee training. I will also suggest 5 strategies to use for successful training of any group. The first area of learning I believe is very important to learning comes from the theory of behaviorism. Behaviorism is an observational theory, claiming that a learner responds to environmental stimuli. Changes in their environment have a direct effect on their behavior. Behaviorists believe that behavior can be conditioned using classical and operant conditioning. The results create a desired behavior. These results change the response's probability in classical operant conditioning. Constructivist perspectives on learning have become increasingly influential in the past 20 years and can be said to represent a paradigm shift in the epistemology of knowledge and the theory of learning. Based off constructivist theory that learners gain knowledge through reflection and experience, scaffolding is another technique that could be added to the training module. Scaffolding is a normal process present across the lifespan that involves use and development of complementary alternative neural circuits to achieve a particular cognitive goal. Examples might include reading aloud, modeling and gestures, intentional small group partner work, sentence structure starters, connect to background knowledge, graphic organization, visuals. Cognitivism is a theory that tries to understand how the mind works. For example, the schema theory is the thought that knowledge is organized into smaller units that store information. Schema theory explains how learning occurs when learners integrate new knowledge with prior knowledge stored in their long-term memory. Using the schema theory, they could be a step in the right direction for further progress. Cognitivism also sets up the problem-based learning. Through this process, learners develop new knowledge through experience and solving open-ended problems. Problem-based learning is a good way to motivate employees because it is centered on the learner and their needs. It also improves their thinking skills and their overall knowledge while building self-efficiency and confidence. Humanism brings up certain ethical responsibilities. It supports liberty and opportunity consonant with social and planetary responsibility, free of theism and other supernatural beliefs. Humanism derives goals of life from human need and interest rather than from theological or ideological abstractions, and asserts that humanity must take responsibility for its own destiny. This theory emphasizes the importance of individualization of a human being. Knowing more about your employees and their mechanisms as they approach learning also helps one decide which route to take to achieve the best results. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a good example to follow. Individualization at work reveals individualization to become an ideological and ambiguous process of liberation as conditions of marketization and corporatization transform the emancipatory qualities and motivations that define individualization into a means for the coordination and reproduction of systematic imperatives which are realized by individuals' qualities and capacities for self-realization. There are plenty of strategies that can be applied during the training process. To go along with classical and operant condition I mentioned before, a system of rewards and punishment would be perfect to implement during training. Employees are then more likely to be motivated to do their job right if they have something to look forward to, and encourages them to avoid the consequences of punishment. It helps build a stronger work ethic. Repetition of the content being taught is a key to ensure that the requirements are absorbed. Interactive learning, as in social constructivism, helps the learner see what is expected of them. The ethical strategy that should always be employed in meeting individual needs. A happy employee learner builds a better business relationship. Activities that encourage belonging are also great team building strategies. When an individual feels as if they are part of something bigger, they are more inclined to perform at their highest potential. My final suggestion for a good strategy to incorporate in any training or real-life situation is the alignment of learning to personal experiences. Learning new tasks often triggers a memory of something from your past. This often helps in relating the new information to that experience and making it easier to process. In summary, you can clearly see how each theory of learning can contribute to any training module. Based on perspectives from all four learning theories, a manager can make adjustments fit their employees' learning styles. However, in these individual employees' cases, I presented you with a model that I felt would be productive by considering what the most important and appropriate for the employees' needs.